What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. So, this week's episode is going to be a bit interesting. This might be a bit of a shorter episode than normal. Because, there's a question that a lot of people have been asking, and it is this: should D'Lo Brown get inducted into the Hall of Fame? I did this last week on, I think on Wednesday, talking about Sharmell and Psycho Sid getting inducted. Which, breaking news, we just found out. We actually just found out just today, actually, moments ago, that Sharmell will indeed get inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is incredible. I think this was reported by This was actually reported by Complex.com. Big shout outs to them. No copyrights, of course. Y'all know how it works with the algorithm. She will be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame, which is incredible. And I pretty much talked about her accolades, not just from being not just from being a former Miss Black America, back in '91. But also talking about her days in WCW, TNA, WWE. Honestly, she earned it. I'm just gonna be real. She earned it 100%. So again, big shouts to her. She's gonna be joining her husband Booker T in the Hall of Fame, which is awesome. But now we gotta talk about D'Lo Brown. Why? What's going on with D'Lo Brown? Well, apparently he is staking claim that he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Apparently he says that he hasn't done enough to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was on Chris Van Villet's Insight show. Big shouts to them. Big shouts to the show and to the individual. No copyrights, of course. You guys know how it works with the algorithm. He stated that he had a much more longer run in TNA than he did in WWE, and to him it meant something. He reckons that him being in TNA would stop him from getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And when he was asked if he was deserving of that honor, he said, "No, I don't think I have done enough in the business to warrant a Hall of Fame induction," which is kind of interesting because which is kind of interesting given his accolades, given everything that he has done for professional wrestling. And I just want to show you guys all of his accomplishments, and this is off of Wikipedia. Again, big shout out, no copyrights, of course. Y'all know how it works with the algorithm. So BAW backed against the wall. One-time world champion. Title tournament 2007, Border City Wrestling BCW Can-Am Heavyweight Champion twice, Cleveland All Pro Wrestling CAPW, obviously North American title twice, Great Lakes Wrestling Heavyweight Champion one time, and the first ever champion actually, and he ended up winning that tournament back in '96. Heartland Wrestling Association Heavyweight Champion twice, and Heavyweight Title Tournament in '96, as well as a Tag Team Champion with Matt Striker, which is not who you think it is. It's not who you think it is. It's not the Matt Striker that was in WWE. It's a different Matt Striker. Heroes and Legends Wrestling Champion one time. IWA World Tag Team Champion with Glamour Boy Shane. um, IWP Heavyweight Champion, Irish Whip Wrestling IWW International Heavyweight Champion, Maximum Pro Wrestling MXPW Heavyweight Champion, New Era Pro Wrestling NEW heavyweight title 6 times. In fact, he was actually the last Maximum Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion, actually, which is pretty crazy. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 61 in the top 500 singles wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2004, and was ranked number 361 of the 500 best singles wrestlers in the PWI years in 2003. Pro Wrestling Noah GHC Tag Team Champion with Buchanan. Or I guess known as Bull Buchanan from WWE. GHC Tag Team Title Decision Tournament with Buchanan. Global Tag League Technique Prize 2008 and 2009 with Buchanan. Southern Championship Wrestling Florida Southern Heavyweight Champion. NWA Tag Team Champion with Apollo, which I believe part of TNA, which is pretty crazy. USA Extreme Wrestling UXW Heavyweight Champion, former 4-time WWE European Champion, and a former Intercontinental Champion. And the Wrestling Observer ranked him, gave him the, he was awarded the worst gimmick by the Wrestling Observer with the Aces and Eights. And I do remember that fondly because the Aces and Eights was one of the most top heel factions in all of WWE. Not WWE. What the hell am I saying? No, TNA of TNA, and my brother just texted me. Literally. Hang on, guys. Wrong place, wrong time. I know he's watching this. Wrong place. Sorry, right place, right place, wrong time would be the proper term. Anyway, TNA. Yeah, I remember he was a part of TNA a few times. The first time around was actually around 2003, 2004. Let's see. TNA, let's see. Let's see. He joined TNA in March of 2003. During his time in TNA, he had teams with AJ Styles on many occasions together, even challenged for the NWA Tag Team titles, but were unsuccessful. The team had split up and challenged AJ Styles for the NWA World title, but came up short on every occasion during doing a best-of-3 series. He had then teamed up with Dusty Rhodes and Jeff Jarrett, defeating Eric Watts, Brian Lawler, I believe is, if I'm correct on that, I believe he's Jerry the King Lawler's son, or was his son. He passed away a few years ago, actually, so, I believe, and David Flair. He had done quite a bit for TNA, and then he ended up going back to TNA in 2009 as their like lead agent or something like that, and he was in charge of talent development and acquisitions heading up their show Gut Check, which I believe was their tryout program actually, and he ended up leaving TNA back in 2013. So again, he's done so much for the wrestling world. I don't know why he would believe that he wouldn't want to be in the Hall of Fame. And his current run now is with TNA. Funny enough, it's with TNA. There's an article here. There's a piece of the article off of Wikipedia, and it says on July 3rd, 2019, Brown announced that he had returned to Impact Wrestling with a multi-year contract as a producer. D'Lo Brown and Mr. Anderson, or I guess Kennedy, for those who remember him from WWE, guilty, were scheduled to represent the Aces and Eights at TNA. At TNA, there's no place like home, but the event was annulled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, on Impact Wrestling episode of June 23rd, 2020, Brown suggested the return of the faction. With the storyline going nowhere due to reasons unknown, D'Lo would continue to be an on-air presence. On occasion, in January 2021, it was announced that D'Lo would be one half of Impact's new announced team with Matt Striker from Hard to Kill onward. On the January 13th, 2022 episode, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis Bennett, Vincent, and PCO attacked Brown, causing injury to him. So he's still with TNA. He's currently injured, which is sad. If you look at his accomplishments, think of the things that he had done, not just for WWE, not just for TNA, but for other promotions out there in the world. It begs the question, does he truly deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I think so. I think he does, because think of some of the different feuds. Think of some of the things that he had done. In WWE, he became one of the newer members of one of the most heel factions in WWE, the Nation of Domination, with Farouk, or I guess Ron Simmons would be more accurate, if you will. And some of the work that he had done with the Nation of Domination was probably his best work ever, because of the fact that they were so bad as a faction. They were so good at it. That's how heel the Nation of Domination was. It actually, their run, the run didn't really last long because of the fact that I believe Ron Simmons ended up leaving WWE right around like 98, like 98, 99. He ended up leaving WWE for a bit, I think due to injury, and then he ended up he ended up teaming up with JBL to not only form the Acolytes, or I guess the APA, but they ended up joining the Undertaker as part of his faction from 98, 99, known as the Ministry of Darkness. So, all in all, again, D'Lo Brown has done so much for WWE. I think he does deserve it, but he claims that he hasn't done enough he hasn't done enough to be in the Hall of Fame. He claims that, but I think so. I think with everything that he has done, not just in WWE, but in other promotions, such as TNA and all these other promotions, I think he does deserve it. So again, does he? Yes. I'm seeing it now. He does. Why? Not just because of his work with the Nation of Domination, but his work teaming with, but his work actually in 2002, 2003, teaming up with Teddy Long, who ended up retiring as a WWE referee, because he had refereed with part of WWE for quite a while, actually, during the Attitude Era. He actually did that throughout the entire Attitude Era, which is insane. And Teddy Long had managed D'Lo Brown, who during that time complained about the acts of racism during his matches and whatnot, and this with Teddy Long and with the Nation of Domination were two of his best works, and I think just those two alone, along with his accomplishments and how much he contributed to TNA and to WWE, I feel like that's what gives him the right to be in the Hall of Fame. So that brings me to the question of the day: do you guys think D'Lo Brown should be in the Hall of Fame? Let me know in the comments below, and that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, which get posted every Monday, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. All the links will be in the description below. And if you guys have any family you guys want to send me, and you guys want me to open it up on the channel, all the info will be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.